Frogs suddenly started raining from the sky, and the man was so terrified by the scene that he immediately called 911. Just as he was reporting the incident, a frog fell from the sky and with perfect accuracy landed right in his mouth, getting lodged in his throat. Firefighters rushed to the scene. The sky looked bizarre. It had turned green. Frogs were indeed falling from above, covering the ground. Even the firefighters were stunned by the sight. They knew a storm was coming today, but where did the frogs come from? A female firefighter guessed that a tornado must have passed over a pond and sucked them up. Meanwhile, the amusement park had descended into chaos. They had to find the choking caller first. Saving lives was the priority. Just then, the man's daughter called out to them, saying her father was about to choke to death. They quickly checked on him. Shining a flashlight down his throat, they saw the frog lodged inside. The medic tried to pull it out with forceps, but it was too slippery to grasp. Even worse, the frog slid further down his throat. With no other choice, the firefighters resorted to the Heimlich maneuver. At last, they managed to eject the slippery little frog.
You're gonna be just fine.
Thank you.
The fire captain discovered a ticket seller trapped beneath a wooden plank, and the team quickly rushed forward to rescue her. Before she was even freed, she had already started repaying their kindness by handing the firefighters free tickets. But just then, hail suddenly began to pour from the sky, shattering car windows. To shield the newly rescued ticket seller from getting hurt, the firefighters quickly huddled together, forming a protective human shield over the stretcher, tightly covering her beneath their bodies. The hailstones were the size of apples. If they could smash car windows, one could only imagine how painful they would be when striking a person. Yet despite the pain, the firefighters didn't flinch, because in their hearts, saving lives always comes first.
Isn't it pretty?
Anybody else feel like the calm's on the wrong side of this storm?
Just after the girl finished putting on her armor, she was immediately swarmed by a cloud of bees, furiously squeezing through every gap in the suit. To make matters worse, she was severely allergic to bee venom. She collapsed into anaphylactic shock after only a few steps. Firefighters arrived at the scene in full bee-proof gear. They first sprayed foam to disperse the swarm, then rushed in to rescue her. But the allergic reaction had already caused severe facial swelling, making it nearly impossible to remove her helmet. Fortunately, they had brought lubricant, and after some effort managed to pry it off. The team medic quickly performed a throat intubation to keep her airway open and oxygen flowing. As the others worked to dismantle the armor, the bees began to regroup and attack again. Firefighters kept spraying foam to keep them at bay. But one question remained: why were the bees only targeting her? The medic speculated that the queen bee might have gotten trapped inside the armor. Using a handheld electric saw, firefighters carefully cut open the suit, and sure enough, they found the queen bee lodged within. Just then, the captain warned of another incoming wave. One firefighter gently picked up the queen bee and released her into the air. Under everyone's watchful gaze, the queen reunited with her swarm and slowly flew off into the distance. The girl was given an adrenaline injection and carefully treated for bee stings. One by one, the stingers were removed, and at last, she began to regain consciousness. Cheers erupted from the crowd, celebrating the firefighters who had once again saved a life. The blimp trailing black smoke suddenly crashed into the stadium, sending tens of thousands of spectators into a frenzied stampede. A young girl was knocked to the ground amidst the chaos. As a man nearby reached out to help her, he noticed a strange tube on her body.
She's got a bomb!
Which only threw the already panicked crowd into further disarray. A police officer, upon receiving the report, pushed her way through the fleeing masses to reach the scene. She carefully opened the girl's backpack, only to find that the device didn't resemble a bomb at all. After contacting dispatch, she learned it was actually a pneumatic pump used to power an artificial heart. But the recent impact had damaged the device, and the pump had now stopped functioning. The girl was barely clinging to life. The officer was just about to perform CPR when the dispatcher urgently stopped her. Due to the delicate plastic components implanted in the girl's chest compressions could have done more harm than good. With no other options, the dispatcher suddenly remembered that these kinds of life support backpacks usually come with a backup unit. If the girl wasn't carrying it, it had to be with one of her relatives. The girl's heart had already stopped. They had just a few minutes left, at most. Without wasting a second, the officer began searching through the debris and panicked crowd for the girl's family. She soon found a woman lying injured on the ground. Luckily, it was the girl's mother. Calling in backup for the mother, the officer grabbed the spare equipment and rushed back.
Stay put here. Help is coming, okay? Dispatch, I have the device. I'm here. What do I do?
Remove the broken pump from the backpack and unspool the clear tubes.
disconnect them from the connectors around her waistline. It should look like a plumbing fitting.
Okay.
With the dispatcher guiding her every step, she connected the backup unit. As soon as the new battery was installed, the artificial heart roared back to life, but the girl still showed no signs of movement. The officer anxiously watched her, whispering prayers under her breath.
Any movement?
Come on.
After what felt like an eternity, the girl finally opened her eyes.
She's breathing.
He was trying to kill his boss with his mind. Watching his boss lying there smashed to death, the man smirked with satisfaction. But the next second, his boss woke him up. Turns out it was all just in his head. This wasn't the first time he fantasized about killing his boss. Because his boss was an idiot, constantly contradicting himself, never making sense. And the phrase he said the most every day was, "Fix it."
Fix it. Just fix it. Can you fix it? Fix it. 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 Fix it.
The man was slowly being driven to the brink. One day, he bought coffee for all his coworkers, including the boss. Even though he hated his boss's guts, he still clearly remembered that the guy was allergic to milk, so he made sure to get him an oat milk coffee with no dairy. But the moment his boss took a sip, he suddenly collapsed on the floor. That familiar smirk returned to the man's face. He figured it was another one of his usual daydreams. But then more and more coworkers gathered around, and that's when he realized this time it was real.
Did I give him the wrong coffee? I gave him the wrong coffee.
Panic kicked in. He called 911 immediately.
911, what's your emergency?
I think I just murdered my boss.
While giving his boss CPR, he told the operator everything, convinced that he had somehow given the wrong coffee and that this was all his fault. Soon, the firefighters and police arrived. The firefighters immediately began resuscitating the boss, while the police pulled the man aside for questioning. He admitted to frequently fantasizing about killing his boss and believed that, after so many vivid thoughts, he had accidentally given the wrong coffee, causing his imagination to become reality. Meanwhile, the firefighters were doing everything they could: CPR, defibrillator shocks, the whole 9 yards. Finally, they brought the boss back. The man sighed in relief, only to be told by the firefighters that not only was he not guilty, he had actually saved his boss's life, because the boss wasn't having an allergic reaction. He had a sudden heart attack. Looks like the cop wasted her time coming here. She probably thought she was about to crack a big murder case, but turns out it was just this.
Next time you feel the need to confess your deep dark fantasies, might I suggest a priest?